Hey, also this is the Masterwork Meltdown event. This is Earth Commander and Immortal Killer. There's also a holiday balloon bonanza that's been added. I will talk more about that in another video. I don't currently have too many balloons for that. On to the event itself. Here's my first team. It's not the most powerful team, but it's pretty decent. This was an experimental idea that didn't quite do as much damage as the first team. This seems to be my best hitting team out of all the teams I have made. And I did make a non-event deck as well. Not that effective, but something you can try if you don't have some of the other cards I'm showing here. So on to the first team. Whole idea of this team is to get Guardians of Igalia to do as much damage as possible, plus that deck is Immortal Killer as well. The first card is Potent Pathfinders. Increases Earth Commander damage by 225%. Then for the next card, it's Leporine Liberators. This is essential. A 570% damage buff to one card. Try and make sure to use this if you have it. Then Guardians of Igalia. This works with cards like Metaverse Masters as well, as it converts non-Earth gems to Earth. Increases self-damage by 325%, so a decent hitting card, plus it's Immortal Killer. Then only Executioners, a decent increase to Earth Commander damage, plus has a revive as well. Then the event ultimate form, Smiths of Refined Fire, increases Earth Commander damage by 245%. But every time you use it, the damage goes up a bit, up to a maximum of 400%, so quite an interesting ultimate form, and one that could be really useful in the Crusade as an example. Plus has a passive that removes Weaken, and there we go. My relics are not that good if I'm being honest. I'll show you what I have. So these are just my best Earth Commander relics, with a couple of relics at the end that break the shields. So here we go. Then one here. There's one of the relics that break the shields. I don't have too many Earth Immortal relics if I'm being honest, so the ultimates might be quite difficult. So this is just a slight variant of the first team. I've put Iria on the team to mix things up a bit. Didn't do quite as much damage if I'm being honest. 4 of the cards are the same though, only Executioners, Leporine Liberators, Guardians of Igalia, then the event ultimate form, Smiths of Refined Fire. I put Iria at the end, boosts up Immortal Killer attack by 2500% when you get Iria going, and that boosts up Guardians of Igalia, the hitting card, but it didn't seem to do as much damage as the first team, so probably not an option that's too exciting to try. If you are going to do this though, make sure you have a couple of dark relics at the end so you can get Iria's battle skill going. The 2 I have here, an Immortal Relic and another Immortal Relic for this team. Then if we move across, this team does slightly more damage than the first team, but if I had Higher Awakening on the middle card, this team would be the best one. Let's talk through this team. We have only Executioners with the 235% buff, Leporine Liberators with the essential 570% buff, used to boost up Brothers in Banditry, increases self-damage by 300%, which is always useful. It's not quite as high as Guardians of Igalia, but since it has more pink stars and Awakening, the damage is better than Potent Pathfinders again, with the 225% damage buff. Then the event ultimate form, the 245% damage buff. There we go. The relics are the same, so I'll move across to this non-event deck idea. This is something you can try if you are struggling for Earth Commander Immortal Killer heroes and only have some of the older cards rather than the event ultimate form. Now, United Shardbearers is actually still a really good card, even though it's an older card. 80% plus an extra 50% increase to Earth Commander damage. So worth trying if you have that card and don't have too many other damage boosting cards. Again though, we have Leporine Liberators. Then Oasis Allies. This can be used as a hitting card, plus it's Immortal Killer. It's only 150% increase to self-damage though, so not as good as some of the more modern cards. Then Potent Pathfinders again, with a 225% increase, and only Executioners with 235%. I haven't set the relics on this team, so there's not much point in talking about those. And there we go, that's the teams I'm going to be using for the event, plus a couple of other ideas as well. Let's get on with the actual event. Here we go. Alright, so here we go with the actual event. I'm going to be testing out 3 of my teams. Now firstly, I'm going to take down a level of the multi-boss with this team here, the Earth Commander team. See how I do with that. I don't think it's my best team, but it's the first one I'm going to try. Alright, so here we go. So I think this is just left to right, but you don't get many Earth Gems on the first turn, so you do have to just match them all, then attack afterwards. You can see what I mean here. Rarely get enough Earth Gems to match the skills at the start. Right, so left to right like this. Let's see just how much damage I can do. Right, here we go. Probably going to take 2 hits to take down the boss, I would have thought. That's an average. Yeah, it's not the best of boards. There's 1 loose in the corner. Difficult to look for a second match. The damage is 375, so pretty reasonable in all fairness. If I had more Awakening on the middle card, that would be a lot better. I'll just finish this off anyway. Okay, let's get hopefully another attack out to finish off this level of the multi-boss. So yeah, I think the damage on this is reasonable. You can always mix up this deck with something like Metaverse Masters as well, or High Performance Unit Area. So quite a decent option. Right, and finish off the boss on this turn. Well, hopefully anyway. Yeah, there we go. Nice, so pretty solid damage, but not spectacular damage. Right, so I'm going to test this team on the Prismatic Guild Boss. Unfortunately, these have Mute. Yeah. What I think is the worst enemy skill in the game, so I think the way to go with this event will be the multi-bosses rather than the regular guild bosses. Let's give this a go anyway, though. It has the ultimate form, so I do have a counter, but it's still going to be a pain if it doesn't counter. Right, so I'm not sure how effective this is going to be. See what happens after the first attack. Normally I get enough gems to use the skills at the start, but not always, so bear that in mind with this team. Let's see what sort of damage I do. Should be interesting. Right. That's not the best of boards. Only 1 gem that's loose from the main match, unfortunately. Let's see what it does. Yeah, about the same as the previous team, but the board wasn't quite as good. Thankfully, Mute has been dispelled. Now, I think constantly using the ultimate form actually increases the damage. I'm not 100% sure about this. Just bring it up again. Increases the damage buff by 20% each time this skill is activated. So, I think you want to use this on every single turn. Not sure yet. Right, anyway. I'll do another attack on this boss and probably quit out, see if I can get something better than the previous hit. Yeah, Mute has dispelled again. Mute is going to be an absolute pain though if you don't have some way of countering it. You really do need the event ultimate form, but you get it for free anyway if you do well in Commander Clash, so it's one of those decisions, do you get it or not? Tricky. Right, that's pretty solid damage, 433.5. I'll try the team with Iria now, see what that does. Right, and now for the Iria team. Not sure how effective this is going to be, but it's definitely worth a try in my opinion. Alright, so here we go. Now, if Mute hits Iria, I'm going to have a problem. If it doesn't, then this should be fine. Not sure, though. I need to be careful with what I match at the start. Then use Iria, as long as it's not muted, of course. Right, let's see what the board looks like. Yeah, Mute's been countered. Absorb doesn't really do anything, so I don't need to worry about that. Now I just need to be a bit careful that the green gems don't disappear. That's looking pretty reasonable though, but I don't know what the damage is going to be like when I use this team. We're going to give it a go though and see how much damage I can do with this. Should be interesting anyway to see. Right, here we go. I think that's going to be a really good board actually. Just have to move the one power gem in like that, and then hopefully the damage will be enough to defeat the boss with a bit of luck. Oh no, it's not that good. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get with this team as well, so I'll quit out at this point. So even with a decent board, it was only around half the damage of this team here. So an all-green team is looking like the best option out of the Earth decks. Anyway, I think I'm pretty much done with the team testing, so I can back out from here. Alright, that's the team testing done. Now to move on to the Clash Bosses feature of the event. This is really straightforward. You play Crusade to get the Commander Clash tokens. Then the Council and Guild Leader summons them here. You want to summon and kill these as soon as they are available. Don't bother to tag them, they're not worth tagging. The idea is to get the boss level as high as possible. So if we go over to here, you can see we're actually currently 7th, which is really good. And the rewards are amazing. An ultra rare and master hero soul for the current event deck. So this is definitely worth focusing on. Try and get as high as possible here. Alright, so now I'll go ahead and claim the event collection. This collection is for Dogen pretty much. You can see here the items to upgrade Dogen. I'll go ahead and claim all of this. There we go, nice. That's all of that done anyway. Right, I'll skip through all of this. Nothing of any real interest there apart from support coins. Right, what is it this time around? Let's have a look at the leagues page. It's a Water Warden. Mordrell, Wretched Steel. There we go. This has Relentless Siphon, and that's not especially exciting if I'm being honest. That's what the Warden looks like anyway. I would have thought it's not one many players are going to use, but it kind of looks cool anyway. There we go. Let's back out of here. Now to claim the random 6-star hero. Right, let's scroll down. Need to claim the support hero. There we go, that's done. And take it up to 6 stars, which shouldn't take too long. Right, there we go. 6-star bonus hero. What am I going to get? Well, I'm about to find out. Okay, that's the main hero from the Jailer's deck, if I remember correctly. Now this is the ultimate form. This is looking really strong, but you can get it for free for finishing well in Commander Clash, so it's difficult to decide if you should get it early or not. If you got it yesterday, you would have got a free pink star on it as well, which helps a lot. Now the battle skill is kind of weird. It says it increases the damage buff by 20% each time the skill is activated, so what I'm reading there is you want to activate it every single turn until it's at 400%, but I'm not 100% sure how that works. I will say the damage buff is pretty high anyway though, and it has this Cleanse Weaken debuff as well. It's a shame it's not Cleanse Mute, as the enemies use Mute this time around. And then if you're going to get one of the cards, you'd want the one with the damage buff, which should be Sovereign of the Smithy. There we go. That's the damage buff. Up to 400%. Yeah, that's quite an interesting skill. If you can get that up to the maximum, then it's the highest damage buff we have seen so far that affects all heroes, which is quite nice. And there we go. I think I'm pretty much done with this video. I hope you found that interesting and helpful. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is always very much appreciated. I've included a previous video on the screen, plus a playlist. Plus you can also subscribe from here if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.